random question. How important do you think it is to have a friendship with your child versus just drawing a line and saying, I'm your fucking mama or daddy, and that is what my job is to make sure that you survive and have the best things instilled in you?
I think it's half and half in a way. Not half. More parental figure, but I don't think the person who's like, I'm not here to be your friend, I'm here to be your authority figure. I think that person's a little off as well. I think the best way would be to learn how to slowly become friends with your kid. But that's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had two parents who tried kind of different routes. I felt like my dad tried to be friends a little like too much too early in one way. And my mom,
I'm 8.
Yeah. And my mom didn't go like my mom didn't acknowledge that I wasn't a kid anymore when I was 17, and that bothered me so much, you know. So I think there's a happy medium.
I think it's an age cutoff for me. It's like, I don't need to be your friend in those first years. I need to be here. I can make you laugh and stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to call you a friend out in the streets. I hang out with my friends and shit. I don't want to hang out with this little nigga. But but I do need to make sure that you are the best person that you can be. Because I feel like it's almost more fun, healthier, and like really developing a friendship with your parents once you get a little older. You're like, oh shit, I get to really enjoy who you are as a person versus me. It's kind of a parent's job also to send you the fuck off and to kind of lie to you and shield you from who they really are too. Because they're just trying to figure it out as they're going along as well. So they want to make you feel that comfort and that security and like, hey, dad or mom's got you. And if we really if our parents really were to let us know who they were, we probably wouldn't feel secure at all. We'd probably be like, what the fuck? Like, we don't know where our next check coming from. Daddy got this thing going on. Mom's got this thing going on. Like, what the fuck? So it's almost like their job to be like, let me build this world and just parent you versus trying to let you know too much.
Until what certain age? What do you think the age is?
I think 18. I think once you start paying for anything on your own, I think once I'm not saying you can't be like gradually start to feel like, okay, we're getting closer at 16, 15, 16, 17, 18. But I'm thinking like 18, you can start like, okay, you're out on your own. The real world is my job now to pivot and transition as a parent. I can't be the same parent I was when you were in my house as I am when you're out of my house.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a dumb mistake.
Yeah,
definitely.
That a lot of parents try to actually do though.
Mm-hmm.
We have no kids either. We have no kids. This podcast you're watching right now.
It's all hypothetical parenting conversations. That one age where you're like, oh, my parents are real people. Oh, they're just trying to figure it out. Like, what do you think that ideal age should be where you realize your parents are just normal people and aren't these people that just know everything?
Ooh, it depends on. I think it just depends on what parents you have. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people see early on their parents are just real people. I think I'm trying to think of what age it really hit me. Like, what? They just...
See, it hit me slowly around 18 where I was like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, okay.
You guys don't know anything either. Like, and I almost think I would have been more sympathetic to that in my older teenage years if I put that together a little bit earlier.
Yeah. But do you feel like you would have had more pressure on you if you kind of knew that too early? I'm asking.
Well, I kind of feel like I'd have less because I'd be a little bit less like nobody's perfect versus feeling like I had to be perfect.
Yeah, but versus like you never like looked at life or looked at people around you and was like, man, like what you want to always do and what my parents definitely want for me is to be better than them, and what I want for my kids to be better than them. So I think like if I would have learned too early that my parents were just people and not this, I would have looked at them and been like, shit, like this is even more pressure now to like not be exactly like them, or to like, I don't want to, as much as my dad had 19 jobs and did all of them well and like worked in the community, I still don't want to do what my dad did. My dad was still struggling in a lot of ways to make means for 4 fucking kids these days. So I'm like, I don't want to do that same exact shit. I think if I would have saw that early on, it might fuck me up. Because my dad kind of instilled in me like you can do anything.
So you're like, I can be a superhero in a way because he's a superhero.
Versus like you see Superman shitting and you like, what the fuck? You shit sitting down too? Thought you would have shit out your heart or something. I don't know. Welcome to Wine and Weed. Hey.
Episode 101.
101.
Back old school. We got some Whispering Angel. We got just the two of us.
Just the two. Courtney is here. Courtney's here.
Hi guys, I'm here.
We appreciate you, the voice, because you refuse to ever be seen, so we just call you the voice.
Welcome to the show. I'm Chris Reinacher, aka the Connoisseur, aka the Goop in Your Gap, aka the Elusive Moose, aka the Mustache Maven, aka Speed Bump, aka La La La. And with me, as always, I think I started off with Goop in Your Gap.
I didn't hear her.
AKA the Goop in Your Gap.
I'm sorry. My bad, man. I needed two goops.
We got a line producer.
One gap.
No, he said it.
And I am your other host, Sterling Steelo Brim, AKA that dude, AKA S to the B to your best of the breed, AKA is that third leg. No, it's just me, AKA Concerned Father, AKA RIP. AKA Black Mama, AKA RIP Black Mamba. AKA Steezington, AKA Stylinton, AKA your stylist, AKA I got one. It was an old one. I'm gonna bring it back. It was it baby dad? No, was it husband potential baby daddy tendencies? Yeah,
that was it.
AKA that was it. That's who you are. And then AKA baby face Brim right now because I cut the beard, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just cut it off real quick. But I want to grow back. I had immediate regret. I was like, fuck, I hate it here.
No, I like it. It brings back old
memories,
vibes.
Right, man?
Yeah,
I'll take it. Release an episode.
Before quarantine.
And
last
but not least, but Young Boy Elroy. Hey. Yeah, I forgot I had another one. And with us is Courtney. This week, we haven't had a guest, no guest for a while, huh?
I know.
Feels different, right?
Just you and I.
Just you and I have to look at each other the whole day. We might get too drunk, too high, and way too silly. We might get canceled in this episode because we get loose around each other, just me and you.
Yeah. Or we might have a real good, significant conversation.
Or we might have a blow up and we break up.
Anything could happen, guys.
Anything could happen.
Anything. We also got Hendrix in the studio.
Yeah.
My dog's here. Wrigley has her eyes glued to him.
Let him move.
She's like, you see him sitting on his lap. He's like, I really don't give a fuck.
He's like, I don't even like him.
Leave me alone.
He's like, we're cool. I'm not even on that with him.
It's a homie.
Yeah, and then Nucky's actually chilling right here. Does Nucky only show out for guests? Is this what's going on?
I think he's chilling because Wrigley has picked up the insanity mindset.
Yeah, she's not letting him up here either?
I don't think she'll let anyone up here. Do you want to? We'll see later if Hendrix comes up, but I don't think he will. I think he likes his distance. He's gonna fall asleep.
And what are we smoking today?
We're smoking. I brought some milkshakes.
Bringing all the boys to the yard.
Bringing all the boys to the yard. Cultivated by Green Dragon.
And this is a sativa as well.
It's a sativa.
Is it you already smoked it, right? It's really good, right?
I loved it.
Okay.
I rolled. I had a little Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
Did a little post Easter joint, but I rolled half a joint. And then I couldn't even finish the whole thing. I was like, I'm high as fuck.
What does your Easter look like? Because I know you hate God. So what does your Easter look like? Does it you hate God? He didn't even deny it. You see how dark he is? But is it we just do egg stuff and we have a bunny come around? Or is it
I'm not a big bunny guy. I'm kind of anti-Easter bunny, to be perfectly honest.
Why is this? What religion is he
I
fucking
just don't
heading?
get where the Easter bunny came from. How does he get in your house?
Man,
does he come down a chimney?
Nigga, Santa Claus took over a fucking holiday. Y'all let him have his shit?
Yeah, but Santa Claus had some logic worked out. He's got a sleigh. He's got magic. He's got reindeer.
He's a white man. That's all I needed.
He got there. We know how he got there. We know how he does his deal.
If you found the Easter bunny was a white man, would you be okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Feels fair. Fair.
No, I don't like that they're why is this bunny oversized? What's going on? I will tell you that I actually did kind of film some stuff to share what I do for Easter, but then I just didn't really want to edit the little video, and it was the end of the day, and it felt like.
Do you go the real scavenger hunts and shit?
So, a lot of them are traditions from Ukrainian families.
Okay.
So in the morning you go Christos Voskres, which is Christ is risen.
And then you kill your neighbor. Cause that's definitely what a hitman says before he shoots you in the fucking
Christos Voskres. No, but there's a super dope egg smash game where you have a hard-boiled egg and I have a hard-boiled egg, and I go Christos Voskres. You go Voist and a Voskres.
Who?
Voist and a Voskres.
Voist and a Voskres.
And then I hit your egg with the bottom of my egg, and one of our eggs cracks, and one of them will not. And then we'll flip them over to the other side. We'll do it again, and then maybe maybe somebody has an indestructible egg, or maybe there's a little showdown.
Well, how do you know if you have an indestructible egg, and what are they doing to eggs to make them indestructible?
Well, no, it's just the luck of the draw. It's just the egg you pick. It's a hard-boiled egg.
I know, but like I can make them break.
When you hit two eggs together, one of them will break, one of them will
you hit
not.
them together. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you said you hit the bottom of them with like a spoon or something.
No, look.
My niece says, go upstairs and do whatever y'all gonna do. Go do some homework. Y'all see how I do my parenting stuff?
Parenting.
Go do your homework. And don't get off the Zoom until it's done. And use the internet.
So then it's a fun little game. It's an egg competition. There's some garlic out. There's some honey out. There's some salt out. There's some eggs out. Eggs mean rebirth. My mom goes, may you be as strong as this garlic. May you be as sweet as this honey. Or may life be as sweet as this honey. And my mom can't remember what the salt is.
But like when there's stuff like this, when y'all do these traditions, why don't y'all just pick y'all own goddamn holiday? Why y'all gotta take over a Christian holiday and make it?
It's a Catholic. It's from Orthodox Catholic, but
that
my
is
family,
that right there is.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't say none of that. You
but
just made me
my
think it was some
family
shit.
isn't really like super Catholic anymore. My grandma's kind of the one who's stopped going to like church, stopped being a church lady.
Okay.
My mom is more like, holistic Unitarian style,
Yeah.
But she likes those traditions of rebirth and of life and of all those things. What did you say about my mom?
You said holistic. I said, yeah, a lot of drugs.
No,
I'm joking
not my mom.
with you.
One time, oh yeah, never mind.
No, don't do that. Don't get in trouble. If y'all haven't noticed, Chris' mom has not been on this podcast for a reason. She will spank him right here.
No, she'll come on one day. You'll see how kind and you guys will all love my mom.
I got to bring my dad on one day. My mom is actually in town, and the fans are always writing about she's the best guest ever. She's been on twice, which is crazy. I don't think we need to bring somebody on 3 times, but if she passes up and comes on the show, I'll let her get on the show. But I tell her she can't get on the show again unless she at least hits the joint one time.
That would be.
I feel like that's amazing. Like I'm not asking for too much. It's just like, yo, fam, you used to smoke reefer. You already went over it on this podcast. You used to smoke reefer back in the, I think, 70s.
Did she smoke it like regularly, or did she like
regularly?
Smoke it? Really?
Regularly. She used to keep that thing on her.
Hell yeah, Mrs.
She got
Brim.
caught one time in church with one of them things in her bag, and they found her bag at church. And they had to ask, whose purse is this? And she was trying to claim it, and she snitched. It was like, it was my brother's damn joint. And I was like, you a snitch.
Wow.
So that's what Kayla called her, a snitch, because she snitched twice now.
Yeah, we are finding out that your mom is a snitch.
No, but my mama said she already gonna slap Kayla as soon as she see her though.
Oh shit.
She said she was hoping to see Kayla today. I said, Mom, you gotta chill out. Kayla cool, mama. Kayla cool. And I said, and she way bigger than you. She gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna have to jump in and help you.
I also do want to know if anybody else has those traditions. If anybody else is Eastern European, let me know, because I've never met anyone outside of my family who knows those traditions. And also, let us know what the fuck the salt is, because we don't. My mom was like, I think it's the spice of life, and I was like,
spice.
The spice. Salt is the spice of white life. I was like, this is a really white thing, right?
Do y'all have speeches and stuff? Did you like make speeches as kids and stuff? Like, did you have a Easter
my
speech?
Mom
How was you dressed as a kid? Like, did you used to wear fits and stuff? Was Easter like a real thing? Was you like get fitted day? Because that's what black people do. They might not even talk to God the whole year, but Easter, God gonna see that outfit for sure.
Yeah, I'll wear some bright things, you know, but it wasn't really forced upon me. I mean, yeah, sure. The kids are wearing cute Easter stuff.
Okay.
They're doing Easter egg hunts for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's fun, man. I just wanted to know. I didn't do anything. But I wanted to know if you have real traditions. And it seems like you have way more traditions than I do. Shit.
I actually kind of realized that Easter is kind of like our holiday we have.
Really?
We have traditions on. So that's actually why I videotape these things.
Oh, word.
But then I just didn't create a little reels.
I would have liked to see the reel, man. I like
Hey,
that.
maybe I'll put it together this week if you guys are into Easter content late.
My mom she did a impromptu sermon and gave us communion as well here at the house, with hot dog bread and watermelon juice. I said, Mom, you could have went to the store this morning. You didn't have to get Wrigley. Chill. Relax. I have no authority. I have no control over my house. But yeah, she gave it for hot dog bread and watermelon juice. It was pretty good though. It was pretty good. At all the communions I had in life, which I've taken a lot of communions, one of the tastier ones. It was simply watermelon. It was pretty good.
That kind of sounds good.
But yeah, should we get to articles? I'm just fucking rambling.
Yeah, let's just talk about Easter the whole entire thing.
Episode.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the little Easter. I'll show you guys my Easter traditions. I'll cut this in. It'll be fantastic.
A 53-year-old man has been charged with animal cruelty after abandoning his pet fish. A North Carolina man got the surprise of his life after he was arrested and charged with animal cruelty and abandonment
first of all,
after leaving his pet fish in filthy conditions. The fish's owner, Michael Henson, was evicted from his home in March and left the fish behind in a dirty tank with no food. The 6-inch long fish was found at the home last week and was quickly taken to the fish room. The fish room is a place that sells pet fish and supplies for sea creatures. They discovered that the fish was suffering from hole in the head disease.
What the fuck is
What is that?
What kind of fish was this, first of all?
So an employee who treated Jerry's the fish, stated he had 15 holes in its head. Dang, 15 holes in its head when he was brought in.
But like, what kind of fish is this? For them, they running surgeries on fish?
Mm-hmm,
That's wild, first of all.
It says that he survived by eating cockroaches that fell into the tank.
Oh.
The fish.
Oh, word?
Dang.
What kind of roaches? I'm not. I'm just more saying, like, what does this even mean? Like, who snitched on him? First of all, I was like, yo, I just can't. I went in that house, man. That fish was just going through it. It really pissed me off. This must have been like an expensive fish for somebody to give a shit. It wasn't a goldfish.
He didn't sell it to not get evicted, though. You know? I feel like this guy's had a bad month.
Yeah, he left
got evicted. He left his fish.
Mm-hmm.
So So if he got evicted, I'm sorry, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, he got evicted.
He got evicted and left his fish.
Yeah.
They arrested this man.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit.
He's having a bad time.
You want me to have a fucking fish on the street, bitch? In what container?
He was charged with 1 count of abandonment of an animal and 3 counts of misdemeanor cruelty to animals.
If you saw a man on the street with a goddamn fish tank and he was homeless, you'd be like, his priorities are fucked up. This man made the right decision and leaving the fish.
Good point.
No, good point. It's the only point. What the fuck why are they bullying this man because he can't take care of a fish anymore? He got evicted.
He's got to give it away.
He doesn't have a home. Okay, if he got evicted, there's a possibility that he got to his place and the doors was locked. I don't know. They might have put his stuff out and locked it in there and just said, we're going to leave the fish right here. Now y'all blaming me. I don't know. I'm just his lawyer. You guys know I'm here again.
I feel like there is some injustice here. I feel I could definitely see that happening. Him being like, no, my fish. And then being like, go on, get out of here. And he's like, damn, coronavirus has been so hard. And all I have is my fish. It also feels like it has to be a huge fish. If you can tell that it has 44 holes in its head.
15.
It's got to be you
just capped so
15.
hard, went so hard. He was like 44.
15, but still 15 because in the thumbnail, there's like a goldfish. And I'm like, I don't think it's a goldfish in real life. This is like a fucking shark. And they have a microscope and they're figuring out how many holes he has in his head. Then I'm really wondering who's paying for this.
Yeah, it's super. And then it's like, if somebody out to get him then too. Because if somebody really called the feds over a goldfish, somebody out to get you for sure. Somebody trying to take you down. And they was like, yo, he's super negligent to his, I wanted to go neglecting his fish. I'm butt fucking high already. But I am for sure. But no, I just like somebody come out to get him if they like call the people on him for a fish. I'm not trying to say that I don't care about fish, right? I'm more saying that all the animals that I think about, fish are probably in my bottom 5 of animals to fucking care about. I gotta prioritize that list. I'm not gonna let y'all make me feel uncomfortable. I couldn't even say that shit. To fucking care about, fish are in my bottom 5 of animals I care about.
And domestic fish, even lower.
Even lower.
You know, who cares about someone's pet?
Courtney,
fish?
how you over making faces? How you feeling about fish over there?
I want to know the other animals that are in your top 5.
Yeah,
that's my bottom 5.
So what's the dogs?
I was putting fish are in my bottom 5 animals to not give a shit about.
How many animals?
No, I was gonna put
are there?
I was gonna put insects in there as well.
Okay.
So like ants, I step on the motherfuckers as if they did something to me all the time. And people get mad at me. That ant didn't do anything to you. I'm like, man, if you don't bother, you get the fuck
How about
out of
spiders?
my face. Spiders, I don't give a fuck about no spider. I'm not scared of them either, but I definitely don't give a fuck if you're on my career spider. I will murder you. Because I don't like spiders because they play dead. The motherfuckers will shrivel up and make you think they long dead. And then you come back, let me pick them up. You can go get tissue and shit, come pick them up. That nigga's gone. And he's on your neck for the rest of the night.
Are you a guy who puts spiders outside, flushes them down the toilet, or just kills them? I mean, I'm not trying to
I'm about to negotiate with the spider,
right
Phil.
You're just killing them, throwing
I'm
them
killing
down
these
the toilet.
fucking spiders and I'm throwing them away, man. I'm flushing them down the toilet.
Well, how about a cricket? What are you doing with a cricket? If you find, if you're like, fuck, there's a cricket in the house.
It's in the house.
And
Cricket's no better.
It's like, beep, 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 and you're like, what the fuck is this cricket? And then you find it. Do you kill the cricket, or do you go like, we gotta put the cricket outside?
No, the cricket's making noise, and the cricket's probably getting your fucking nerves throughout the night, because I believe they're mostly, could be made up, nocturnal. I believe they're more night creatures, and that's why you hear them more at night. You don't really hear them during the day.
Makes sense
and
to
shit.
me.
And for that reason, you're gonna be loud in my house throughout the night.
Yeah, so you're gonna
by the
kill them,
time
or you're
I
gonna put
see
them
you,
outside?
Fam, by the time I see you, somebody broke in your house, Chris, and they making noise the whole time. You're not slapping them when you see them. You're gonna say, "Sir, can you please leave?"
I for some reason I have sympathy for crickets, but I kill spiders. So I don't.
Why? Is it because the narrative?
Look, I try to
It's the
take that.
narrative.
Look, if somebody's watching me, if like my girlfriend's there, I'm probably gonna take the spider and put it outside. But if it's just me and the spider, I might kill it and get on with my day.
But what if your girlfriend's scared of spiders and she needs you to reassure her as a woman and be like, "Let me know you could protect me."
Are you man enough to kill that spider?
Yeah.
That'd be a big dilemma. No, I would kill the spider probably.
Okay. You were easily pressured.
Yeah. Are you not gonna kill a spider?
Oh, I run from spiders, and I
You
kind
run
of
from them.
I Lysol them to
You
death.
spray them.
Yeah.
That's torture.
I'm too scared to actually step on it.
You
so I
gas
just-
the
No,
spiders?
it's the face to face. It's the one-on-one face for me, fam. You can't do the Lysol. It then becomes you poisoning this spider. That's not okay.
I don't want to touch it. I don't want to step on it. I'm freaked out.
Freaked out about what? What he
The
do to you?
spider.
Has
I
a
don't
spider
like
ever done
spiders.
anything to any woman? I'll say woman. I'm okay with that, because more than likely my girlfriends I've had in life are always like, I'm scared of spiders, and I'm always like, what have spiders done?
They have mad legs and they are ugly.
That's it?
I don't like it, and they could crawl.
You're kind of body shaving the spiders right now.
You really are. They're born the way
They
they're
have
born.
mad legs?
Yeah, Lady Gaga needs to stand up for these spiders. What was it? I'm born the way I am or some shit? What was the song?
Born this way.
Born
this way.
Yeah, born with 8 legs.
He got so
8
mad at me
eyes.
for not knowing that. He was like, born this way, dude.
8 eyes.
Get with it, motherfucker.
But you got a web, and that's pretty cool. Anyone who makes a web like that, I feel like that's a redeeming quality.
I mean, you can make it outside in my
You can
house.
make a web
not
if
in
you
my
beat
house.
off hard enough. You can make a web. You can,
Jesus Christ.
it's not the hardest thing to do. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. You never did that as a kid when you first got your first night? You was like, no? Okay. All right. Nobody.
Jizz on spiders?
My mom caught me playing Spider-Man again.
Have you heard about this conspiracy? No, I'm sorry. It's called Seaspiracy, where I think it should be called conspiracy. Like,
What
sea.
the fuck are you talking about?
I guess that's
Please
why.
get me
I guess
there.
that's why. SEA. It's about the sea. I'm linking this back to fish. I'm going back to
Okay,
fish.
I'm waiting.
Yeah. So there's this movie out right now on Netflix called Seaspiracy. Even though, once again, conspiracy feels like.
Is this
it's
the
right
ad,
there.
Chris? Because you didn't split it with me.
No.
I'm joking.
It's a just start working branded things into the podcast as if it's organic. It tells us about how we're killing all the fucking fish in the sea.
But we know that.
Yeah, but we're killing them pretty bad. But I think because they're in your bottom 5 of animals you care about, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
I don't want them dead. I just don't like. I'm not gonna arrest a man over a fish. Is what I'm saying. My thing is, I definitely don't want the fish dead, but I'm not arresting anyone over. They're like, what'd you do? He's like, I left my fish at home. I couldn't find my key. They're like, you got to go with us. Too far. But I don't want the fish dead. Do I want turtles to have straws in their noses? I do not, Chris. Do I also hate paper straws? Yeah, it gets really weird for me. It gets really 50-50 ball on how I'm feeling, because paper straws suck. Am I selfish? Probably. I'm joking. I don't hate the turtles either. Everyone hates me now in the room.
No,
Courtney,
I
it's just
love
more
turtles.
Courtney than anything. And
I
then you're
love
wearing a
turtles,
turtle on
and
your
I
fucking
wear-
sweater.
I mean,
Yeah.
I went to University of Maryland.
What are your
Turtles.
bottom 5 animals?
Spiders.
Oh.
And any insects. I don't like reptiles either. No.
Which one?
Reptiles. Are reptiles on your top 5 or bottom
Well, actually,
5?
I kind of like lizards.
I don't even know if I have a 10 to keep putting them up top or bottom.
I assume that there's just slots for animals and they're either on your top 5 or bottom
Well,
5.
I'm fine with whatever we're doing here. I think reptiles would be on my bottom. I don't hate them at all. I will hold them. I will like hang out with them a little bit. But also, again, we're talking about the caring game. We're talking about ones that I'm like, hey, that thing warms my heart. And I think that we should fight for that animal. A panda, let's fight for pandas at the end of the fucking time. Have you ever seen a panda play? They're the cutest fucking animals in the world. A dog, other than Nucky, is amazing, you know? But like when we get into reptiles, I'm not a snake guy. I had a turtle growing up. It was a red-eared turtle. He was cool. It was my brother's actually.
What was the turtle's name?
His name was Speedy, I think. Fucking
That's
Speedy.
funny.
No, he was fast as shit. We used to lose him all the time.
Really?
We used to
I
lose
had a
him
turtle too
all
named Martin.
the
It was
time.
super fast.
He was super fucking fast. And I was like, this is fucking fake. Everybody lied to us.
Is this propaganda to keep turtles down?
I
that
think
they're
it is.
slow?
Just like
I think
spiders.
so.
Just like spiders.
Oh.
We gotta stop the spider hate. When they keep making they be drawing spiders with do-rags on, with weed in their mouth, and they try to make spiders into thugs. It's like, no, it's just a different culture that you wouldn't understand. Stop judging spiders, motherfucker.
I feel like bees are leading the way here because bees, we all we're like growing up, we were like,
need
I don't want to
bees.
die.
But we need
But
bees.
now I know bees have rebranded and now everybody's
I
into
always
bees.
knew we needed bees, though. And
really? You're watching My Girl and you were like, but we need bees. Are you watching
I don't think I watched My
Girl?
Girl. It was really into it, Chris. I didn't watch My Girl like that.
I mean, I always thought bees as the enemy growing up. My
Maybe.
mom's also allergic to bees, so that plays a role. Like they're after my mother. But I thought everybody hated bees. What do you see, a positive bee character?
I like bees. I don't hate
There's a
bees.
bee
They're
movie.
nice. Yeah,
Now I
they're-
like bees.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld was the star of the bee movie. You love Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, I never watched the bee movie. I was like, I'm not on board with
Really?
this agenda.
What about Cheerios?
Now I am, though. You're right.
Oh,
That's a likable bee.
Cheerios.
That's a good bee. He's a good bee.
Are there
What's his
any other
name?
bees in life?
Any other
His name
bees?
is Buzz,
I
motherfucker.
feel
There's
like
only one name you go with for a fucking bee. He was like, what's his name again?
I feel like
Buzz,
there are
nigga.
there are bees they're stinging bees that are like negative. Maybe I'm imagining.
Did they
the
kick their
sharks.
legs like that?
They're like, they're like about to. They got their knees up and they're about to fucking drill somebody with their ass.
They used to be.
They're gonna sting them. They're gonna
What?
sting. They're like, right? Am
Yeah.
I thinking of the Charlotte Hornets logo? Is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay,
You know that
maybe.
little like
Yeah.
badass.
Oh, you
bee?
mean like the
He's
Georgia?
like,
Georgia Tech, I think, has like the killer bees or some shit. I don't fucking
Oh
know.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I mean, the bees.
killer bees.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. You remember that shit? When
Yeah.
that shit dropped? They was like killer bees. Every year they dropped some new shit on you. And killer bees was a strong year. This past year, didn't we have another insect that we didn't have time for?
Murder
Yeah,
hornets.
Murder hornets. We fucking forgot all about them. They didn't even murder anybody. It was one hornet murdering out here. And they made it all hornets. They were like, murder hornets are coming. It was one hornet with a gun.
So, teen rapper Bhad Bhabie has captured the crown as the queen of OnlyFans, claiming she racked up more than $1 million in just 6 hours after her debut on the Not Safe for Work site. Bhad Bhabie is charging $23.99 per month for access to photos and videos on her OnlyFans page.
And for those of you who don't know who Bhad Bhabie is, she's also known as the Catch Me Outside girl from Dr. Phil.
Catch me outside. How about
Chris, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but that's who she is.
I'm joking. Yeah, but since then she's been signed to Atlantic Records and has fucking multiple records out. And
You think she's good?
No, it's not about her being good.
But
It's
you're
about her-
saying she's reputable.
she's had a whole career since then.
Okay, but I'm just saying that's how people
For
know
sure.
her in general. I don't think I don't think that not everybody knows that Bhad Bhabie is the same thing as the Catch Me Outside girl. But what
I think they do.
I think it plays a part in
I
this.
think everyone
no?
knows that actually. She still has that. Like
You
in
think
her
she's
fucking
made
bio
Bhad
and some shit.
Bhabie a household name? I don't think she's done that yet.
Household depends on what household we're talking about it right now. It depends on what household that you're in. I think that Bhad Bhabie, maybe not in white culture, but in black culture enough, we know her enough because she wants to be within our culture. So she's
Okay.
auditioning each week, and we judge each week, and she has never been accepted. But each week we allow her back on the show.
So you've seen her because maybe you have a different viewpoint of me. Maybe you've seen her mature more or something. Because I still see her as this bad teenager.
Absolutely not. I haven't seen her mature at all.
I still see her as somebody who got famous because she's a bad teenager. And now they built a music career around her.
I didn't say that's why she did. No, it is why she got famous.
Yeah.
She's also put in more work, equally as bad of work, to be just as famous now, to stay famous. That's
true.
what I'm saying.
That's very true. That's why she's
and
still
her celebrity has grown. It hasn't like plateaued. She's literally getting more and more followers each week. And as we know, now 100,000 more pedophiles just followed her right now. So she is definitely a business, if nothing else. I don't know if it's the right business to be in, but I get her. Again, did we read the article?
Yeah.
We did. I'm high again, guys. Everybody just
Yeah,
so it is pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. It makes me forget though, motherfucker.
I know. I just like half and I.
No, I don't know. How do you feel about like, I mean, this whole thing in general? Are you mad at Bhad Bhabie and them for knowing, hey, we can make $1 million in fucking 6 hours? Which I don't know of many people who would turn down the opportunity to make $1 million in 6 hours. Or are you more mad
I'm
at
not blaming,
society?
Yeah, I'm more just saying what it says about our culture and what our culture kind of has always been and is, and I guess is in large numbers. The fact that she made $1 million in a week, there's a lot of people who went like, she turned 18, but then that's also like porn culture that's like fresh 18-year-olds. That's been there festering for years and years, and I think
if she lived in France, she would have been rich already. That was a joke, but it was serious.
Well, but also maybe not, because there's such this like the event when she turns 18 here. There's something kind of creepy about that. Well, right?
I mean, they just made the law this year, but I'm pretty sure the pedophiles 10 years from now will be looking forward to when the girls turn 15 in France.
Turn 15 in France. That's gross.
They'll be like, it's not a difference. It's just a number in each country, and each person that is weird looks forward to the number, and no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
It doesn't really change.
I don't blame her for taking advantage of that, but
Unless it was like 35. I say that we make the new age 35, and then no one looks forward to it.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking, so it's illegal to have sex with anyone who's like 29.
But also it's just more about the guys being uninterested because they're pedophiles. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So it did track, you little bitch.
So you think that these guys are like, I don't know. Is our fucking society full of pedophiles? Is that all we keep fucking
I think we sell sex at all times from a very early age. We groom, like, not, you know how pedophiles groom their actual the actual victims? Is the same way America grooms people, us. They sell sex to you at the very age you're able to consume anything. Sex is being sold to you. So are we so shocked that a culture that is constantly being like sex because it brings in money is selling sex from an 18-year-old girl who was on Dr. Phil one time, as you know her, to now,
as like a slutty teen. You know, like that's what her character was on Dr. Phil.
I'm not sure they casted her as slutty teen.
But she was like, I'm a badass and I have sex and I don't give a fuck and I'm 14 years old. And some guys out there was like,
I'm listening. Yeah, some guys, I'm
18.
Listening. Anything else you want to say?
I don't know. I guess this just keeps coming up and I don't really know how, like, at what point are you like, is this gross or is this the way people are, or like what? Does that make sense? Like, wait, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, like, I don't like look. I think it's weird that our culture waits for someone to turn 18, but you're right. It also makes perfect sense.
I don't know.
Like, these are the rules, and I'm motivated by sex. So
also, I don't know if it was like a countdown. I don't know if like she put a countdown on her page, like I'll be 18 on this day. Maybe she did. I don't follow her. Maybe she was like, here's my countdown. But I also feel like she dropped it like a Beyonce surprise album. She was like, OnlyFans, and then all the pedophiles just went. They were like, oh shit. And then all the dudes maybe who were 19 or 20 went. It's like
that's fine with
you're
me.
excluding them. And then I imagine there are some 15 and 16-year-olds who have their mom's credit card, and 14 who are also subscribing to this. Like, I think that you're just putting all of them as these creepy guys. All of them need to be investigated. Like, no, it's probably like if they went through the percentage breakdown, it's probably a fair number who are like around her age. A fair. I'm not saying majority. I'm not saying minority. I'm just saying a fair number. But I do think it's still creepy that people were super excited, and she kind of talked about that too, didn't she? She kind of like, oh, she wasn't like y'all was just waiting on me to turn 18 and like that. She was like,
no.
I thought she had like posted on her page. She said she broke the record though on OnlyFans.
Yeah, because before her it was Bella Thorne that got it, and it took her 24 hours to make $1 million versus it took Bhad Bhabie 6 hours.
But I thought they were capping it now. I thought that was why people weren't making as much anymore, because they were capping it on, because they were like, we don't want celebrities getting on here for 1 day, 2 days, making a shit ton of money and then just getting off. So we're gonna start capping it on what you can make per month. So when she said she made that, also she said that on April Fools, and I just knew she was gonna April Fools. Like she was gonna be like, April Fools, I didn't even post anything crazy on my OnlyFans or some shit like that. But no, it just stayed there. The headline just stayed there.
Yeah, I guess I haven't thought about like what I mean. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like this, what does this mean about us?
It's gonna be one dude in the comments like, it doesn't make us a doesn't make us a fucking pedophile. He's like,
you
he's
gave me the rules.
There.
It was as soon as she turned 18, and
I love her music.
The rules. I don't. I mean, because there's gonna be another weird pedophile situation that happens in another article, and I guess I just don't have I don't have a strong point of view on all these pedophiles.
Pedophilia?
I'm like, I mean, I think it's weird and gross, but you're like, she got $1 million in a day. Is that from pedophiles? Are those bad guys? Are those regular guys? Is that just people?
I don't know.
Who are these people?
That's the same way you could, I guess, monitor a regular porn site and say, who are the people on this porn site who are clicking just turned 18 or teen? It's like, then you gotta take all that shit down too. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I know that people who have argued you should definitely take that off of porn websites, that you shouldn't be allowed to search teen anything. I agree, but at the same time, I think that that's a slippery slope of like, oh, you have to cover all this stuff versus just one person. You kind of like, all right, you may all be pedophiles, but these are the same pedophiles who are also on regular porn sites too. There's no difference.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
are some girls that start porn on their birthday.
Yeah, I guess just a mainstream version. It just like reaffirms of like, oh yeah, everyone's a creep.
I guess, yeah. I'm not, yeah, I guess. I mean, I won't say everyone, motherfucker. I ain't subscribe to her shit.
No, I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying the people that like those have the highest numbers. It's like,
yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Matt Gaetz he's being investigated by the Justice Department over whether he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old and paid for her to travel with him, according to 3 people briefed on the matter.
And the way that this all came together is that a tax collector from a county in Florida who kind of looks like an MMA fighter dude, like he is being investigated for sex trafficking, and he has connections to like Matt Gaetz and Roger Stone and all these kind of like big high profile politicians, and these guys were just taking ecstasy and fucking prostitutes.
Yes.
So there's that whole story as well. That guy's a fucker.
But like, what are we gonna say about him? He sounds like a creep.
That guy is a creep. That guy's also a senator from Florida.
But we giving him exposure. Fuck him. I know he don't need our shit.
It's a national story for sure.
Is it? I ain't been keeping up with these motherfuckers, man.
There is things published saying that he might leave politics completely, and later that day it said the FBI is investigating Matt Gaetz sleeping with a 17-year-old, and then he immediately came to Twitter and said this is an extortion attempt, and this is people are trying to like get my father and make me give them $25 million. This is all just a political hit. None of it's true. The FBI asked my father to wear a wire, and he's in there right now. Like, kind of like said too much, and it was everyone kind of looked at this guy of like, no. I feel like I should.
No, I'm saying like, but like, I don't know the story, so I'm asking like, how do you know he's lying?
Oh fuck!
Or do you just not like?
I didn't
him?
realize I have to tell this whole the whole story of Matt Gaetz completely. I don't know if I can do that. super
But like,
well.
even if I'm not, I don't know
Yeah.
him. Again, I repeat. I don't know who the fuck this is. They never heard his name until today. Like, even if he has, like, let's just say, unless he has a history with minors and he's been like arrested before with minors or does some shit that's like, oh, this is so credible that maybe he's done this. Like, just because he's a shitty guy, like, what says that he's like lying or that he is? Because the fans investigate niggas all the time. I mean,
I guess this shit's super believable to me. This guy's gotten a couple DUIs, so he has that sort of lifestyle. I watched this documentary called The Swamp on HBO, and he talks, and it's kind of about him. It kind of makes him look sympathetic, like, even though I know I don't like him, like, you kind of get to know him as a person. And he kind of, like, it's not that glamorous of a lifestyle. Like, he has to live in this, like, kind of place outside the Capitol. It almost feels like a little fucking dorm room. And I'm like, is this guy married? Like, who? Like, this guy feels. It feels. Me and my girlfriend were like, it'd be hard to keep a relationship with somebody who has to fly back and forth from Florida to DC. So honestly, the fact that this guy is fucking prostitutes does not surprise me at all. He seems like that type of dude. He seems like type of dude who's gonna like get drunk and fuck prostitutes. So that actually doesn't surprise me. I think it's funny because he's also such a Pizzagate like conspiracy theory guy who's like, there's a bunch of deep state people who are fucking children and running things, and guess who he is? He's a fucking person who's fucking children and running things. Like, and there's a few other people in this group. The guy who child traffics him people is a tax collector, along with this dude Roger Stone, who's like this political operative, who's like the shadiest motherfucker of all time. You're like, of course these guys circle up, and of course they're accusing the other side of doing things that it turns out they fucking do. But you know, it's just crazy to me that these are in these people's kind of reality and orbits. I mean, I guess we have weird things like this in our reality and orbits being in Hollywood as well. And like, why wouldn't it happen in Washington, D.C.?
I guess the thing that takes him down is flying her out somewhere, right?
Yeah.
From my perspective, at least, because when you fly somebody somewhere, it means you have to get their date of birth. And you can't then argue and say, I didn't know how old the person was. Because other than that, there's nothing that separates this from Bhad Bhabie. If Roger Stone or whoever, Max Gaetz, whoever wanted to fly Bhad Bhabie somewhere, they could legally. It's just one age. It's 1 year apart. I'm saying the only thing that indicts him. Fucking I'm so high, guys, and the glasses are making it worse. The only thing that actually
Incriminates him.
Thank you. That was the word. Incriminates him is the fact that if they're saying he flew her to multiple places, then there is really no argument for him. Not that 18 wouldn't still be creepy. Not saying he wouldn't be wrong. Not saying that, you know, from a moral standpoint, or integral standpoint, you might still look at him and say, ugh. But yeah, I guess flying. You know. And
I think what his thing is she wasn't 17 at the time. I think that's what he's like. That's kind of his general defense. He hasn't said that much about it.
What do you mean she wasn't 17 at the time? She was
like
younger?
he's trying to say she was 18. He's trying to say, but I'm still kind of like, it's once again gets back to this culture of like, this dude's 38. Like also, dude, you're 38. You're in Congress. You're kind of like a celebrity of sorts. I'm sure someone's into that. Why do you gotta go pick up a fucking 18-year-old?
But now again,
like,
I don't. Again, I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's the kind of thing I'm thinking about during both of these stories.
But it makes it too hard to like take that individual down, because they can say, I didn't do anything legally wrong. I talked to someone who was 18 the same way. Like we were saying, Scott Disick has dated Sophia Richie, and then another girl who's not 18, right? Legally, he's not doing anything wrong. Do I look at it and say, you look creepy as fuck? Yes. I don't agree with this from a moral standpoint. I think this is disgusting. But legally, he's not wrong, per se. So it just makes it super difficult to argue like, it's like, yeah, I can agree with you, but you can't just take people down because of,
There's spaces where he's legally wrong, like hiring sex workers and doing drugs. And I might be like, well, sex work and drugs should be legal. But guess what? They're not, because of congressmen like him.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it becomes hypocritical as well, where it's not just you're a dude who's deciding our laws while breaking our laws.
Yeah.
You know, like
police.
Yeah, it's that type of shit. It's corruption, and we're paying for it. We're paying for your fucking prostitutes.
Yeah, I'm not paying for this prostitute, but I hear you.
You know, yeah. Well, you're not.
Yeah.
Someone.
Because I wouldn't pay for no 17-year-old or let him know.
Well, you would have texted Matt and been like, "Don't do this with my taxes. Those are my taxes."
Yeah, they set the law there. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that you set the law there, so now he can argue all day. The law is set here. I didn't do anything wrong. And guess what? Technically, from your law, you're right. It just becomes a moral argument all day of like, as me as a 32-year-old, I wouldn't talk to no 18-year-old. I wouldn't. But there may be an individual who thinks that's not that crazy. My dad was 50. My mom was fucking 32. It's fine. Like, and you're like, okay, I guess, but yeah, that's still whatever to me. So I don't know. I'll just get into an argument all day of like whether or not this person is right or wrong. And I don't even know this nigga to be giving this nigga all this fucking love and shout out on this fucking show. Fuck him. DMX in the hospital, Chris, and we talking about this nigga. What's his name again? Fuck his name. That was a joke, Chris. Don't repeat that shit. I'm joking.
Well, this dude's like this dude is a big mouthpiece. He's kind of like a conservative AOC, and the fact that he knows these things about how to get out to people using social media, but he does it with evil shit. And and now he's being a bad dude, and like, sorry, man, let's make our people who decide our laws like respectable people. That's all.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But guess what, man?
But if he wants to put out OnlyFans or rap music,
people are people. Also, people are people. Also, people are people. Let me get into a bigger conversation because I'm high now, Chris. So you fucked yourself. I didn't want to get in this stupid convo. Now I'm here, Chris. Now I'm getting all in it. People are people. And going forward, if we're hiring politicians, athletes, whatever the fuck, athletes are not the same thing, not public selected officials, but politicians is like we set ourselves up as a society for failure. I think that definitely we should have some kind of line we draw and say that's not okay, this isn't cool, this person's weird, blah blah blah, that we don't want that person leading a country. But we have lied to a whole fucking society on what people look like. We've told them that people don't make mistakes and that presidents come from only Ivy League schools and they do this and they do that and they have to look this certain way. I'm not saying that you shouldn't still have a preference. I'm saying that we have lied and that people are people and people make mistakes. And this, I'm not saying this creep who is hiring 17-year-olds to have sex with him is somebody I'm defending, because I'm not at all. I'm just more saying that, like, what about the other individual who we wouldn't even normally cover something like this on this show, but since you covered that white ass thing, I'm gonna cover this black ass thing. Who the fuck is Derek Jackson? I don't know. Just figured him out recently. But he had this whole thing online of him being like a relationship counselor, and he like gives all this advice to all these couples and everything, and then he had a cheating scandal. And then that cheating scandal became like he's cheated religiously for 10 years straight. But
did this just come out?
This just came out. But in that same breath, I was like, yo, this dude's crazy. This dude's weird. This is a lot of shit. But at the same time, like, are we saying that a relationship counselor cannot have ever had infidelity or went through something real within a relationship? That's bullshit. You're lying to people about who people are and what they have been through and stuff, because that may be why this person's here, because they went through infidelity before and said, hey, I'm here to relationship counseling because I've been through it all and I've seen the good and the bad through relationships, so now I know how to handle everything, so that's why I'm here to counsel you. Versus a person who
he was currently going through
he was still cheating. He was currently cheating. That was my argument for him.
So
I was just more saying that, like, you know, when we think about politicians and stuff going forward, will we have to have this facade forever where it's like everyone is living a lie? Or when will we get to a place where we're able to speak about things freely, right? You know, like, you may hear stuff about people in Hollywood doing some shit and you'd be like, even if that is the case, when will we get to a place when those people can be real about their truth and say, this is actually how I operate, or this is what I do? Like,
I get sex workers and do ecstasy.
I'm not saying that.
But in a way, I'm kind of like, if you do sex workers and you do ecstasy, fine.
Why we let that Harvard dude say he did heroin and he still works at Harvard?
Right, Columbia, yeah.
Columbia.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
He's
no,
got
no,
a
just-
fucking job.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he said, yeah, I mean,
Just because he didn't say he was fucking with it? If he would have said, I do heroin and fuck weekly, they would have been like, whoa.
no. I mean, that guy is not voting that those things should be legal despite doing the illegal thing. So that's like hypocritical to me. But I feel that way often about artists. I think it's funny that artists are somehow gods all of a sudden, and that everything anybody writes needs to have the exact right
Athletes
message.
as well.
It's like that's not really
Athletes
as
are
well.
held to such a bar that our politicians aren't even held to nowadays.
Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant has apologized for using homophobic and misogynistic language during a private interaction with actor and comedian Michael Rapaport on social media.
When did he become a comedian?
Michael Rappaport's who I think he is, right? He's
Yeah.
the big like
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
he's not a comedian.
He does fucking like rants as well.
Yeah,
to
he
his
does
phone,
rants.
right?
He does rants.
That's probably what he considers comedian.
So earlier this week, Rapaport tweeted screenshots of direct messages he claimed he received from Durant, for which the basketball player has since faced backlash. In the exchange with the actor, which took place back in December 2020, Durant appeared to take an issue with comments made by Rapaport following a post-game interview Durant did with Inside the NBA co-host Charles Barkley. During the interview, Durant gave a one-word response to one of Barkley's questions, and the moment quickly went viral. So basically, Rapaport was talking about him because of the way that Kevin Durant did that interview. So a short time after the tweet, once Rapaport did his like crazy tweets that he always does, Durant appeared to have sent Rapaport a private messaging calling him a bitch and other profane slurs. He also challenged the actor to a fight and going as far as asking for his address, according to the screen grabs.
Yep. Cool.
Bitch, though, there wasn't any like.
I don't know. It's bitch and then maybe the F word. But as somebody on the outside looking in, because you haven't been as involved in this, I'll let you answer first. How do you feel about this? So okay, since then the NBA fined Kevin Durant $50,000 for their back and forth because Michael Rapaport posted it on the internet. And post the DMs.
So Michael Rapaport is originally talking about how Kevin Durant gave this interview.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Durant didn't like that he did that, so he DM'd him.
Yeah.
And he screenshotted.
They went back and
posted
forth. They went back and forth.
Okay.
But I just want to know how you feel about it.
I mean, it feels like a fight. It feels like kind of I don't know. It feels like he was giving commentary. And it's like, well, that's what this is about. So then he tried to continue his commentary by being like, and this guy messaged me. But it's also kind of a bitch move. It's like something's private and something's
my
public.
dog, fam. Okay, you shook my hand with the wrong hand.
I know, I couldn't.
It's all good. Yeah, there we go, baby. Yeah. I'm with you. It was a bitch move. Number one for me. I ain't never really loved Michael Rapaport, right? I've understood him. Spike hires him a lot. He was in Higher Learning. He's been in some things. Yeah, he's been in Next Friday. Like, I know who he is. I'm familiar with his work. He has benefited off black culture for sure. He probably is hired more by black people than he is white people. But I've still never loved him. I've always had this weird little thing with Michael Rapaport, right? And maybe because he played a white supremacist in Higher Learning. But other than that, that's not why I really have a thing. But he did play one. But he came on Ridiculousness. He came on Ridiculousness as a guest. And if you know me, I'm not no sensitive motherfucker. I don't care if you care about me or not and vice versa. But it felt like he went out of his way to be rude to me and was super overly nice to Robin Chanel. Like overly nice to Robin Chanel. And then every time I said something, he was just like, look at me like, and I was like, I don't know my beef, but like I also don't like you, so it's weird that you would give me this energy first because I don't like you. So then when the whole Kevin Durant thing happened, it made me feel super pissed because I was like, yo, this is why we be like, we'll let motherfuckers do rants or do a little dance here and there, and it'd be letting their ass come to the barbecue, and it'd be a fucking mistake because they be breaking code and doing things are against our culture. Number one, if you feel that way about Kevin Durant, you can't say what you want to say. You be calling motherfuckers all kind of shit online and cursing and everything else in between. And the moment someone writes you back, you get scared and tell his authorities of like, Kevin Durant posted this at me. So, and then for me, I don't like it from the standpoint from the NBA. It's like, it feels like slavery. This has nothing to do with you. These are two men who are DMing each other. I'm not at work right now. I'm texting this person or I'm DMing this person from the comfort of my home or wherever I am. I'm not at work. You may disagree with me. Maybe I could have used language that was better for sure. But at the same time, this is separate. This is completely separate. What do you even have to do with this? And why are you charging me $50,000? That means nothing. Kevin Durant, slap on the wrist, cool. But Michael Rapaport should also, if he wanted to really act like he wanted to, because he came out and apologized since then, because he said it went too far. Fuck you. Because I don't believe he was really sincere. You start realizing that black people was side with Kevin Durant. Was like, fuck you. He thought he was going to get us to be like Kevin Durant in his feelings again. Because that was his whole angle, that Kevin Durant's soft and Kevin Durant's in his feelings.
Oh, okay, yeah, because this is what I'm kind of wondering. I'm thinking what the content of it could be either way, and I'm like, this is totally justifiable.
So Kevin Durant had I don't know if you remember this, Kevin Durant had a Finsta or a fake Twitter back in the day where he got caught kind of writing people from it, and he was in his feelings, so to speak, with different fans about what they felt about him, calling him a snake, and the fact that he went to the Warriors and all this stuff.
Damn, I mean that just to me is kind of like, but it's also sad a little bit.
It is sad because
I'm not mad at him.
What those people don't realize or understand is that you're expecting everybody who is these guys at this level. Most of them enter the league at 18 years old. You're expecting these 18-year-olds to be immediate adults and to handle themselves with class and respect and dignity. But you also you love to highlight and glorify the fact that they come from these poverty-ass environments. And they're like, oh, this person's from this mean streets of this and this and this. But then when they act like they from the mean streets and they have had to survive and protect themselves or whatever, you get mad. But you can say what you want to say. And you make money off of it. Mm-hmm. You make money off talking shit too. So I should be able to talk shit back to you, fam.
For sure. That's the type of personality he puts out there. Also, it feels like there's a when he says something on air and then he says something about what he said on air, that's like on like stage, like you're on the world stage. Yeah. But then sending a DM, yeah, that's just like that to me is like backstage. So then you took what was happening back there and put it on. If Michael Rapaport thought that was the situation, okay, but it still doesn't make you a very real person.
So church apologizes after pastor asked students to spit on him and cut him as part of the Easter plan. It looks like an Ohio pastor took the Easter festivities a little bit too far after urging students to spit on him, cut him with a steak knife, and slap him.
A steak knife at that.
Yeah. So the
butter wasn't good enough.
He was leading a group of middle and high school students as part of the Ohio's Church Weekly after school student hangouts. He decided to share his message with the students about Easter, which he later said crossed the line. In the video, you can hear him saying, "I'm going to ask you to do something that might seem a little crazy, but if there's anyone here that would like to spit in my face, you can do so without repercussions." Man. Students quickly took him up on his offer. Quickly. They hated him. Slapping him across the face. The pastor then pulls out a steak knife where pulled
out his dick. I was going to say, this is wild.
The pastor then pulls out a steak knife where one student is seen slicing his back. The student quickly began to post the lesson on social media where they show several students lining up before the pastor and take turns spitting on his face while others laugh.
His OnlyFans has made $1 million.
Oh my God.
6 hours.
What the fuck? What did this pastor do to them? I mean,
what was the lesson exactly?
Yeah,
was
I don't
like,
get
this
the
is what
lesson.
happened to Jesus? Was he like scratch me up and like whip me and I rose again after y'all spit on me?
Yeah. Okay. So
they spit on Jesus.
The lead pastor defended his actions and said Jesus chose to allow them to spit on him and beat him and crucify him in order to take the payment of our debt that we call sin. So he was doing in an effort to share that message of love through the gospel and the story of Jesus's crucifixion. Yeah, there we go. He shared this illustration and tried to share some of the pain that Jesus took on that day.
He couldn't tell them. There's movies he could have showed them. They have Passion of Christ. They have a lot of things. Why did he have to say, you know what? Let's do a demonstration here. Do you all know what spit is? Everyone's like, yeah, of course. Like, spit on me. Like, this is clearly some weird pervert stuff too. This is definitely him getting off on the kids. What age were these kids?
They were in middle and high school.
Middle and high school. Mm-hmm. So he brought in different classes to spend.
Oh yeah, this guy has something going on.
This guy's definitely got something going on. How many kids were there all together? Why would they know all of this? Did they fucking answer that was wild?
No, they didn't. It doesn't have how many kids were there.
That is like, yeah.
How old is the pastor, does it say?
He's old, right?
It doesn't say how old he is.
He's for sure old.
Does he regularly do this lesson, or did he just go rogue
it's
and
Easter
decide
again.
to do it this
It's December.
year? What drove him to do this all of a sudden?
No, well, he's giving the lesson of Easter in his head.
Yeah, but like he probably has a lesson plan. He probably goes through the same fucking shit every year, you know? You generally do the same sermon, right?
Man, white church is so different than black church. That was the fucking most revealing thing I've ever heard.
Dude, at Catholic church, they do.
What? Fuck no. Man.
At Catholic church, it's like,
if you a black
they're
church,
talking about this.
If you had a black church, you can't repeat your sermon. You got to come with a new sermon every week, boy. Even if you talking about the same thing, you better get there in a different motherfucking way, or we gonna let you know.
Fuck yeah, that sounds way better.
You can barely do the same sermon from fucking 11 o'clock service to 1 o'clock service. Nigga, you better switch it up a little bit. Because I stayed for 2 services.
Oh, I'm constantly like, when I go.
Chris is fucking mouthing the sermons by the end of them.
They love calling responses, and you know that shit. Catholic church is all about like, now let's do that chant we all know.
Yeah.
From the kingdom and the power and the glory. And then they don't. And if you take it back a level, if you talk about like my grandma's church, they are just singing the same prayers in this.
Yeah, I've been to a Catholic church one time. It was short as shit, so I loved that part of it. But it was also was also so boring. It was like so dry.
It's funny you call it short because I remember it as being the longest moments of my entire life.
You ain't been to a black church, Chris? It don't even end. They wake you up
but
when you at home.
It sounds fun.
They just wake you up when you at home. They was like, hey, get up. You in your bed now. It don't never end. Black church is fucking 4 hours minimum.
Sounds better. But this guy was just, is this guy a black church or a white church? That makes sense.
It's a white church, bro.
So I think it's even more
this is
like
creepier.
Even more like this guy didn't need to do that. Like this is his first time doing. If this isn't his first time doing this, dude,
he does this in his head all the time. He fulfilled his dream that day.
Also, just
is he been arrested or are they like this is legal?
Yeah,
he did his fact check.
He just apologizes.
All the kids were 18.
That's what you're. That's what I'm saying. Well, you're like, okay, well, this is legal, but I don't want this guy to be my priest.
Okay, so
why would you want to be your priest?
The sheriff's office quickly noticed the video, and an investigation has been opened.
Okay, as it should.
Yeah, it's a weird fucking thing. Also, even just on a teaching level, you're putting the students like as the role play as the bad guys. Like, how are you teaching them about Jesus?
If there's a video, is there a video?
Yeah, there's a video.
So then how's there an investigation? You can see them spitting on the man.
They're probably investigating him now.
Yeah.
Okay. And saying what? Like, yo.
Is he a creep or?
Yeah, but like, I mean, is the investigation about him being a creep or is the investigation about this exact like creepy thing he did?
So
you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't say specifically.
Like, is this a actual crime?
Like, imagine you being like, and for this lesson in Jesus, I'll play Jesus. And you'll all play the terrible Roman countryman.
They're like, but it was only 4. You'll all play it. You'll all play it.
And you'll all spit in my face. And the kids are like, okay, well, that sounds cool. Also, the fact that they were all excited about it, you knew that if he was a cool teacher and he was like, and spit in my face, they'd all be like, no, come on.
Dude,
get
that's
up
not
off
cool.
the ground. What's going on? Quarantine getting to you? And he would be like,
I do have a random question for you again, Chris. I'm hitting you with random questions the whole day. That's why this show has no fucking flow. I apologize to everybody out there. But did you see the video of Paul Pierce? Bobby's favorite player of all time is Paul Pierce. Have you seen the videos with Paul Pierce?
No, what are the videos?
Do you know who Paul Pierce is? Who used to play for the Boston Celtics?
Basketball player?
Yeah.
I recognize the name Paul
He used
Pierce.
to be really good. Like he'll be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. He was probably at least an 8-time All-Star. I'll say 8-time at least All-Star. But he was an ESPN commentator or correspondent recently. He's been doing pretty well at his job for years. And then we all randomly just see videos of Paul Pierce in hotel rooms with strippers and smoking blunts and doing all kind of shit that we like, yo, there's no way that he works at ESPN anymore if he's doing all of this. There's no way ESPN is allowing Paul Pierce to live his life this way. And it said just right now, ESPN parts ways with Paul Pierce after seeing video. Now, my only other question is, because Paul Pierce looks like he's holding the camera for most of the videos. How fucked up do you have to be to not think about, like, yo, I have a full-on job and I can't be doing, like, with the strippers everywhere. Like, you work for Disney, motherfucker. Out of all places, it's not even.
He posted it on Insta. He posted it? Or
I
it was
think it was on live.
It was on Instagram Live.
He was on live.
Oh.
It was for a while too. It was at least 7 songs that was played. Them strippers were getting their money worth for sure. It was at least 7 songs.
And the whole entire time he was like, I'm on Instagram Live and this is a
I don't
cool
even know if he
thing
was
to do."
talking. I think he was just being like, you know what I think honestly happened if I had to make up something in my head, because you know I love to make up bullshit on the show. I think Paul Pierce is going through a breakup. And I think that he fucking forgot that the world is watching and not just his ex. I think that he was like, this bitch want to watch me? I'm going to put a show on for her ass. And he put a show on for her, and then now he has no job. And she was like, you reap what you sow. Jesus always fall on the right side, don't he? And now Paul Pierce is like hurting and shit because he has no job. Random, again, just saw it. And also, it's Bobby's favorite player in life. Not no more after you seen that video? You let him go after that video? Everything he did in basketball is thrown out because of one video with some strippers, Bobby?
I haven't seen the video.
It's not even that crazy about to get rid of that man's whole career.
What do you think it should be, that we just kind of accept that people are like have some weird ass lifestyles sometimes? Not that I think I don't know what Paul Pierce is. I'm just trying to tie it all together.
No, I'm not saying weird ass
Feels like
lifestyle.
all similar stories.
I do
a bunch of these people doing stuff that technically, other than the 17-year-old of Matt Gaetz, if that's true, that one does not technically catch out. But he says she's not 17, so everything technically.
I brought this up before that allegedly there are phone recordings and videos and all kind of stuff with Dr. King and a whole bunch of white chicks and women who are not his wives, right? What I'm saying there is that, like, would we not have gotten Dr. King in today's society? From research and everything else, would Dr. King not be allowed to be Dr. King? Could he not dream just because he was dreaming with other women as well? Or is his dream not as valid anymore? Or was he living his dream is the question. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I think everybody has something. I'm not saying Paul Pierce should be allowed to post and allowed to do whatever. I'm just more saying, like, I just think that it's a slippery slope of, like, being like you can't do anything in life. It's gonna make people, I guess, not be real. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you have to like hide something, but A, hasn't that always been the case? But B, should that always be the case? Should people hide things like for the good of society, or?
But is it bettering society is my question. It's not that you shouldn't.
Well, that's what they're.
Yeah, my question is that you have put those standards into society as well. Like, it's like saying, like, if this person does this thing, he may lose a whole bunch of his Christian followers. It's like, well, you told them that this thing wasn't acceptable and blah, blah, blah. So, like, I understand, but also if that's that person's truth, why would you want to block that person from living their truth? Gay was a thing like that for many, 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 many years. And we're finally getting to a place where we understand that what the fuck are we talking about? These are people's lives. And they have the right to do what they want with their lives. And that's bullshit for us to try to stop that. So I'm saying that if Paul Pierce's life is I smoke blunts and I like strippers from time to time, is that not okay at all? If he's in a state that's like weed is legal, and also,
I mean, as long as he doesn't actively stand against it, you know, if I would feel much more mad about Paul Pierce if he also had a book about not smoking blunts and hanging out with strippers.
Okay, fair.
You know,
fair.
Or if he made laws about not smoking blunts.
So you just want to take this guy down. You're not gonna stop this.
No, I'm literally saying, like, I don't have a problem with an artist being like, here's my point of view.
I think it was just caught off guard. It was Paul Pierce. It was from ESPN.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's like a newsman. He's like a
it was really
official guy.
Fucking random.
Athletes fall in a
athletes. It sucks because athletes are they're athletes, and I don't want to say they're just athletes because they're way more than that. Mm-hmm. But they're athletes, right? And that's the only thing they signed up for was to play a sport.
That makes sense.
And we put so many other things on their plate where we're like, you have to be a role model, you have to be this, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's why I have a problem with the Kevin Durant thing. Because Kevin Durant is just DMing you and telling you how he feels after you just said how you feel about him. No other thing. So that's my issue with that.
Do you think anybody has a responsibility to be a role model?
Do I think anyone has a responsibility? Anyone? Yes. I think parents. I think it starts in home. I think that is the only person who has an actual responsibility to be a role model is a parent.
And to pretend to be Superman.
To pretend even when they're shitting. Even when they're shitting. No, I think yeah. If I had to answer that question, I would say just parents. I think it all starts at home, and that we have accountability issues at home, so we end up putting them on society. And society does all these different things just because we can't control our own kids. And that not saying that you should control your kids, but that just because our households, because for so many years and still now and throughout time, if your child doesn't come out correct, people put the pressure on you that you failed. And you're like, that's still somebody else. As much as like, yo, this is my child, it is my job to like do what I can. It's still me and another motherfucker who DNA was combined to make this crazy little nigga. Like, I don't know if he gonna hit. I don't know if it's gonna be a hit or miss. I know I'm doing the best I can. And but no, I think we put that pressure. But I think that people should take that pressure at home.
But adults need role models too, right?
I didn't say adults needed role models. I mean, they didn't. But also, once you have a child, it's your responsibility. That's what I'm saying. It's your responsibility. I'm not saying you should ever stop having role models. Yeah, I'm saying that you should have some bit of a child in you. Your parents should be your role models until the end of time, until they leave, whenever in whatever aspect they can be. But I don't think there's anybody else's responsibility to be your role model. I don't listen. I wouldn't say that it's a rapper's responsibility. I wouldn't say it's an athlete's. I would even say it's a politician's. I would say that, hey, it's a parent's job. But I think that second place would definitely be politician.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're asking for it. First of all, for you to even step in this shit. Yeah, you're like,
hey, look at me. I'm a role model.
Yeah, even for you to step in this little shit.
And you kind of need those. You know, like I think the Obamas are great role models.
Yeah,
you know, we kind
of
need those celebrities that are good role models.
You think Trump subscribed to Bhad Bhabie's OnlyFans?
Bhad Bhabie?
Bhad Bhabie, not Da Baby. I don't know about his OnlyFans.
I think he got a password.
Do you think you know anybody who subscribed? If you went in your brain right now, if you be like one person, don't say no names, obviously.
No, I can't.
Is there a person in your life that you like? That person probably.
I can think of somebody I used to work with who I could see doing that.
Okay.
I think it's okay to be a role model and be flawed.
100%. No, but does society think it's okay? I know you think it's okay.
Well, I think we should. I watched Vanity Fair's videos today where it's like everything I do in one day. Have you seen those videos before?
No.
It's a cool little digital series. I make digital series sometimes, so I was watching Vanity Fair has some cool ones, and they do celebrities come on and they go, here's everything I do in one day. And some people were definitely telling us their best day they've ever had, like their everyday good day every day, or their very lofty goals for every day. And I was a little bit like, these are cool. It's cool to see the way these people think. But occasionally you'd hit one person who was like, here's my real day. And I think someone admitting their flaws, someone seeing where they get caught up, someone saying, admitting that sometimes little things are harder, all those things, it does make somebody a good role model because in a way it makes them relatable. Mm-hmm. So I think it's okay for people to be multifaceted. But when we look at these people in a way that they are like a pillar of society or what we all strive to be, I don't know.
I ain't never tried to be no fucking politician. That's some shit you going through within herself.
I guess not what we strive to be.
I ain't never heard a nigga being like, I want to be a politician. You fell into that shit, fam.
Well, I guess the people who make our morals.
Yeah.
Or I'm also thinking about news people. I'm looping, even though Paul Pierce used to be a player, he's more in trouble because he's on ESPN.
He ain't a player no more. He just crushed a lot.
Because he's on ESPN, right? Because he's an anchor.
Yeah.
So and doesn't that put him in some professional world that news anchors and politicians and people who wear suits on TV exist in?
Yeah, but I don't. Yes.
And we expect those people not to be people. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I think it's bad. I think it's really bad because those players were just players and they became commentators because they understand the sport because they were players. So now you're putting pressure on them just because they transitioned they retired and they were really good at what they did. Now you're saying now you have to have pressure that if you are a single Paul Pierce, I don't know if he is, but you are a single Paul Pierce, you can't smoke. Now smoking a blunt may be one thing they are. I think that's probably why they got, if I had to guess out of the two, I would guess smoking a blunt quicker than I would the strippers. I would think they were okay with him being like, I'm at a party and there's strippers here if he wanted to. But I think they probably would look at him smoking a blunt and being like, that's not you being a good role model. And it's not legal in all 50 states yet. So that's their argument. And I don't know which state they record in or where he is. But I don't know. But I think Paul Pierce was trying to let his ex know I'm having fun over here. I don't fucking need you. And he lost his job with that shit. And that's sad. It's a tough way to go out. You know?
Yeah, because it's just a person being a person.
Yeah, man.
But also, not if that person's a pedophile. Well, what do we learn today?
We learned a lot of things. We learned that people are creeps, people are people,
yeah,
and people are love.
Wow. And I also think if I can pitch a really dark A24 movie, it's about the spirit of the fish who got left in an apartment after the guy was evicted and got 24 holes in his fucking head.
But it was 14. 14.
Well, it's based on a true story.
15?
It's not. I can embellish.
What does the fish do to the people?
I mean, somehow he convinces the roaches to sacrifice themselves in order for him to live.
I don't know if I like this movie at all. Is it animated? Give me something.
It's like A24, but it's also Pixar. It's like
what's A24?
A24. It's like really,
A24.
Yeah,
A20. I
it's
was
like
Kobe. I was like, motherfucker, you keep saying Kobe numbers.
Grainy. It's like a really sad.
Yeah, I got you.
Film about rejection essentially.
Yeah.
From a fish. Never really gets specific about what species of fish he is.
Oh, I like that.
But eventually,
is he even a fish?
He's saved by the humans, and some people have been giving me rewrite notes about it, about what's going on.
Rewrite notes.
What's going on with why did the people save him at the end? And wait, was it realistic for that person to really get arrested for that? And I get that, but I think we can make it all work out.
Who does the voice?
John Goodman.
John Goodman does the fish's voice?
Yeah,
I love John Goodman.
John Goodman is the fish.
I don't think he was with that whole racist shit Roseanne was on, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, no, he was just on the sidelines, probably stop, but I just want to keep acting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm cool with that, man. I don't know what the fuck this clothes was, but I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this movie. I want to see it now just because John Goodman's in it and it's animated, right?
Yeah, it's animated, but it's weird animated.
Okay.
It's animated, but it's indie animated.
And who else is in it other than John Goodman? Is there at least somebody else? I'm like, I know him or her.
Michelle Williams is in it.
The singer from Destiny Child?
No.
Oh, this actress.
Yeah.
You had me more with Destiny Child one than you had the other one.
Oh, Michelle Williams is on the soundtrack.
Because you're just casting all white people again. This is the problem with Hollywood.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Fucking know. We're fucked up. We're high and drunk, and Chris is trying to write a movie on the show right now. I don't know if it will happen, but I'm here to help you write, and we can get this done.
Let me know what you think about any ideas about the ending.
I'll give you some rewrite notes, man.
Thank you.
We want to thank you guys.
Just the first draft.
My mom actually is coming downstairs right now. Come jump in and hit the joint real quick. Tracy Grimm. Come hit the joint. Just come and speak. They know you. They're fans of you. They always ask about. Can they even see her?
No, she'd have to be right back there.
Man, what is wrong with you? Just wave. It's a camera. Bend down a little bit or something. I don't know. Right there. Boom. I'll move, Nucky, before he bites you. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hey.
Yeah, how you
hi,
feel about
Mrs.
Kurt
Brim.
Franklin threatening his kid?
I didn't think anything was wrong with it.
Oh, whoa.
Language may have been a little inappropriate, but his energy level is fine.
He always got good energy.
Yeah, so no, I don't know, because I'd probably be ready to fight one of my kids too if they videotape me and I didn't know it or they audio tape me or whatever.
The difference is Kirk was going to win that fight. You would lose all the fights with your kids. Man, get up out of here. Thank y'all so much. See you
See you next week. Well, your mom should say zip it up and zip it
Say
out.
zip it up and zip it out to the people. Just it's a sign off.
Zip it up and zip it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
I don't know if that was a prayer, but see you next week.